Always a pleasure having my next guest on the show. It's the phenom Tom Pagliarulo, who will be fighting next on November the 18th at Combat Zone 82 when he takes on Olivier Murad for the vacant featherweight strap. Tom, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's been a little while since we've seen you fight. March of this year was the last time you did fight, and I know you had a little bit of an injury that kept you on the shelf for a little while. So I just kind of want to start there. Tell me, obviously, you're back to normal, feeling great in the middle of a training camp, getting ready for a big fight. But just tell me what it was like getting through that injury and how you're feeling.
Yeah, it was tough, man. I think like around beginning of May, I was helping my teammate Nick Fury get ready for the Chase Super fight, and just kind of had a freak accident in the boxing gym. Just like the way his thumb caught my eye in the boxing glove, I fractured my orbital in my right eye, and that sucked. And then I just get back from that, and my first MMA sparring session back, I fractured my orbital floor, and another kind of just weird accident in my other eye. So that was 6 weeks apart, 7 weeks apart from each other. So that was a little tough mentally. You know what I mean? It was like, man, I was preparing for June to fight in June. Obviously couldn't do that. And I was gonna fight in August and then couldn't do that. So um slowed me down a little bit, but sometimes that forced rest is kind of what you need. And I really got to lock in my mental game during that time because I had to, you know what I mean? You can get lost in those injuries a little bit mentally sometimes, and you go from being all active every day and they tell you you can't do anything, and I'm waking up every day kind of asking like, damn, who am I? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like I can't even go to the gym right now or even go for a run even. So that was tough, but as soon as I got cleared, like I think by August, because I remember in Nashville I was getting good work. So I've been working hard as soon as I got back and I feel better than ever.
So, did you have any vision issues? Like, could you still see completely, or did you have some sort of like blindness?
Um, Initially, the first one I had no vision issues. That was just a little hairline fracture. It really wasn't too bad. But the orbital floor for like not like 10 minutes. It was just a scary 10 minutes. I was seeing double a little bit. What was really scary is I just broke it in the shittiest spot and it pressed against the nerve in my face, and I lost all feeling in the left side of my face, my upper lip, my nose for like months. I couldn't feel that. It felt like I was just jacked up with Novocaine in my face. So that was the scariest part. Sitting in that emergency room thinking, "Damn, am I gonna feel my face again?" Because they kind of extreme at the emergency room. They were like, "We can't tell you that's gonna come back. It's just kind of a waiting game." But after talking to some specialists, and I actually got to talk to the UFC's physical therapist, and she had told me like it'll probably come back. She's like, it's just gonna take some time. It normally does. So that was nice to hear, and I got full feeling back now, which is nice. But yeah, it was a scary couple weeks.
I can only imagine. How long did you have to wait before you got to talk to the UFC's physical therapist to kind of give you that confirmation that okay, things should be just fine?
Yeah, at Rob's fight in Nashville, we bumped into her out there and we were just kind of telling her about the injury. And I had actually kind of started to get some feeling back by then, so I kind of had a feeling on my own. I was like, okay, maybe I will get something back. But then hearing from her that it mostly does come back, it just takes a long time. That was nice to hear.
Yeah. Geez. So I have to imagine you were probably still able to do cardio and stay active that way, right? Just not spar and do everything you need to do as a mixed martial artist.
For the first like month, they didn't even want me raising my heart rate because it can put pressure on the orbital and the brake and stuff. And I don't know all the science behind it, but I was told not even to raise my heart rate. I thought that was a little ridiculous. I have a little treadmill in my garage, so I would just put it on an incline and I'd just walk. I just walk for like hour and a half, and do that just to get something, keep my baseline up. But my cardio is pretty good normally. I got back. The first 2 weeks were kind of like hard, but my cardio is better than ever right now, man. I can tell you that.
Yeah, you have one of those body types. You're kind of built like a basketball player. You're tall, you're lean. You probably didn't have to worry about putting on any extra weight during that time frame, right? If you did, it was probably just a couple of pounds.
Yeah, no, I maybe was the heaviest I've been in a while, but honestly, it's probably good for me to. I think I put on some more muscle. To be honest, when all I could really do once I first got back was lift. So I definitely put on a little more size. I think I'm carrying a little more muscle into this fight than I have in the past. My coaches kind of have said the same thing. Um, so nothing like major, you know what I mean? My weight cut is actually probably going to be easier than ever. I'm working with perfecting athletes this camp for my nutrition and stuff. It's my first time doing that. So I feel great. My weight's in a great spot.
As far as moving forward goes, do you still feel, as the years go by, that 145 will be your weight class in the future, or do you think that there could be a move to 155?
No, 45 for now, for sure. Honestly, like in my head, I was like, oh, is 135 a possibility? But now after talking with some professionals in weight cutting and dieting, they said absolutely not, to 35. But 45 for sure. I can make 45 pretty comfortable. And I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm only 26. I mean, I could turn 34, 35 and be a little bit bigger than I am now and fill out a little more. So I guess we'll see with time, but I think I'll be at 45 for a while.
Okay, that makes sense. As far as life outside of training and just your whole combat sports journey, I know you're engaged. There's got to be a wedding at some point around the corner. You love motorcycles. You're always, working on those in your garage, right? So, what has that balance been like, during this camp and just in general to kind of, keep your sanity, but also get the work you need in to be at your best come fight night?
Yeah, my work always comes first, man. This is all I do. I'm not balancing like a job or anything with training. It's just training for me. So I wake up, I go to the gym, I train, I come home, chill, eat lunch, go back to the gym and train, and then at night it's like it's time for me to come home and shut that off. You know what I mean? Maybe a Friday night I go spend some time with some friends. We got a motorcycle shop in Haverhill that we all kind of hang out at. And it's just even there, it's like I'm just hanging out, chilling. We're not doing anything crazy, you know what I mean? Maybe my friends do sometimes, but I'm just there hanging out. And as far as wedding planning goes, luckily I got a fiance who's kind of been taking on the brunt of that. But yeah, man, most of this camp, like most of my energy's been invested into my training as it always is. But I definitely make sure I disconnect when I come home.
Do you guys have an official date for the wedding? Has that been set?
Yeah, September 21st of next year.
Okay.
So it's exciting, man. It's coming up.
Very cool. And the venue, has that been picked out as well?
Yep, we're gonna get married at Aldsworth Manor. It's in Harrisville, New Hampshire. It's right next to Keene. It's like a 70-acre estate. It's beautiful, right beneath I think it's Mount Monadnock.
Mhm.
So we're planning an outdoor ceremony and stuff, and hopefully the weather holds up. We'll see.
Good for you, man. Well, early congratulations. Very excited for you. Transition back here to fighting, man. Tell me what camp's been like. I've seen you got a lot of killers around you as normal, but I've also seen some new guys in there. Joe Giannetti. I saw you posted something with Bilal Muhammad. So what's been going on with this camp to get you ready for this title fight?
Yeah, Bilal was just out in Nashville when I was out there for Rob's fight. And we got a little group together, do some training throughout the week at the hotel training area. So that was good. Just pick his brain, get some like light rounds. I wasn't supposed to be sparring yet, but you can't say no to those rounds. You know what I mean? And they were all very safe. He was actually the safest training partner I think I've ever trained with was Bilal. And he told me he never really spars harder than what we did. And we were very controlled. You pick it up with the grappling and the wrestling, but his advice to me was, look, you know what it's like to get hit. You're a professional fighter with 7 fights now. Like you don't need to be taking that in the gym. Not that we do that, it's just was those were kind of some freak accidents that happened, just shitty
Yeah.
timing back to back. But it was nice to hear that. It's like, all right, like this is good work what we're doing. We're pushing a high pace, but we're being safe. So I just learned a lot from his mental game. And then as far as the gym back home, yeah, we brought in a ton of bodies. Chris Matino's in there with us like almost every day now. Joe Giannetti's been coming in. Tyson flew one of his guys in from Toronto, Matt Special. He's 5-1 at lightweight. Bazooka Joe guy, real good kickboxer. So he's a southpaw, just like my opponent, kind of similar build, a little way bigger to be honest. He's a big 55er. So I got some great work with him this camp, and yeah, just good bodies, man. Good work all around, and I'm just feeling ready.
I'm just curious, when you look at some of your peers that are around you, like you're still such a young guy. You got someone like Joe that, makes it to the Ultimate Fighter, and then the UFC doesn't sign him, and now all he's doing is, digging and clawing and trying to get his way into the UFC. Then you got someone like Nick Fiore, who's even younger than you, if I'm not mistaken. He makes it into the UFC and then has two tough fights in his cut, and now he's back in the same position. You've kind of been on a different trajectory where you've been in the regional scene, kind of building, and I think from what I've seen, a lot of fighters, the people that stay in the UFC, they kind of have this similar type of background as you, where they kind of build up, right? What's your, I guess, opinion on all of that? Like, just hearing your peers and what they have to say versus like your own journey.
Yeah, that was the big thing for me, was to just always remind myself I'm gonna get there my way, on my terms, and my journey's not gonna be the same as these guys. I can't, if my teammate gets called, it's good for him. It's not, why not me? You know what I mean? That's always been my mentality. It's not, it's always good for them, and keep my head down and keep working. I'm happy with the route I'm taking. I think I've steadily progressed with the level of competition throughout my fights. Even that last guy got a lot of heat from when that fight got announced, because the kid was only 2-2. We were having a hard time finding someone, but he was also, we knew that wasn't your normal 2-2 guy. If you look at his record, he's got split decisions with UFC fighters and some high level guys. So I knew that kid was going to push me. I just try and take the hard fights, man. I've been a competitor in combat sports for a long time with the wrestling and this, and I'm used to competing at a high level. So I want to know that when I get there, I'm there to stay. I don't just want to get there and have to question, man, am I ready? And I think I'm showing that throughout my fights. I've been in the wars. I've been in the long fights. I've gotten the finishes. I'm getting a little bit of everything. And now this next fight, it's like this is the level of fight I wanted to take. I don't think you see a lot of guys on the regional scene chomping at the bit to fight a kid who's won on the Contender Series and was a world champ in another promotion. And I kind of told my manager, "Don't rush me. Like, let's earn it. Let's get there." You know what I mean? He's got the same feeling. I'm young. He was like, "I think we can really build you the right way and take the right path. And when I get there, I think it's going to show."
You get this win, you'll be 7-1, and again, this would be a signature win over a really really tough guy. Are you do you feel like 2024 Contender Series, or maybe a short notice UFC fight, is that what you think could be next?
I think anything's possible, man. All my focus is on November 18th. I got someone I can't overlook. I got a tough one in front of me. Um, I'm just, my motto this camp is just be undeniable on November 18th. If there's any doubts about me, if people question, am I the real deal? I'm going to show that November 18th. And, I think I keep doing what I'm doing. Calvin tells me, man, just keep showing up, doing what you're doing, and they won't be able to deny you. You know what I mean? I'm a hard worker. I think I outwork anyone in that room. I think they'll tell you that. I'm consistent. I'm the first one in, I'm the last one out every day. And I think that shows just in my approach. I don't cut any corners. And November 18th, you're going to see the difference between me and these other guys. It's just the level of focus I bring to that cage. So yeah, I think I get a win here. I think there's some big things on the horizon, but until then, I just got to keep winning.
Okay, I love that answer, man. That was said like an absolute pro. You mentioned Calvin. Give me a little update on him. How's he looking? When can we expect to see him back in action?
Yeah, Calvin's been in the gym working hard. He's been busy right now getting this show put together, so I haven't seen him too much. But yeah, Calvin looks great.
All right. Rob's got a big fight. He's taking on Davison Figueiredo. Couple weeks after your fight, UFC Austin. Are you going to travel with him down there? Are you going to be there for him come fight week?
Oh yeah, we move as a family, man. Man, I fight next Saturday, and then that following Friday, day after Thanksgiving, I'll be up bright and early flying to Austin. So, yeah, I'm excited for him, man. I think that's a perfect fight for him. It's cool to see him get the fight he wanted. He had called for that fight. I think after he knocked out Giannis, he had asked for that fight. So it's cool to see the UFC kind of giving Rob his shot. And I think anyone who could make flyweight at some point in their career is way too small for Rob. We've kind of seen that in the past. He fought Matt Schnell and just ran through him. Sergio Pettis put a clinic on with him. They want to keep throwing these flyweights at him, and I think he's going to keep turning the clock back on him.
I think I'm leaning the exact same way. Do you think he finishes him early, or is this fight maybe getting into the later rounds?
I think Davidson, he's a world champ. He's smart enough to, I think, avoid the danger at first, but I think as the fight goes on, Rob lands clean. He's gonna feel that. This isn't a 25er hit me, and Rob's not your normal 35er. That's as big as a 35er gets. And he hits hard. He's long. I think Davidson's gonna be frustrated with that jab, and after the Sandhagen fight, I think it's pretty safe to assume everyone's gonna try and wrestle us. We know Rob's wrestling's better than that. Sometimes he just gets stuck in the mud, have an off night. You look at his past; he's fought guys like Ricky Simone, who are real good wrestlers, and we're taking him down and not getting held down by those guys. So I think as long as Rob shows up, I think we put this guy away within 3 rounds for sure.
Boy, you got the good end of the stick here as far as when you fight. You're a week before Thanksgiving. He's a week after Thanksgiving. So you're going to be able to indulge come Thanksgiving after hopefully you get this win and bring the belt back home. What will be the go-to? Are you turkey, gravy, stuffing? Like what do you usually like to kind of pig out on come a day like that?
Man, I'm going for it all. My mom's stuffing is phenomenal, so I always look forward to that. Yeah, man, you can't beat it. This is my favorite time to fight, the week before Thanksgiving. It's something special about it, not just obviously getting to pig out, but just getting to settle down with family during the holidays and just really be grateful for what's around me. You know what I mean? These fight camps can be lonely and take you to some dark places, and you're just like so locked in on one task for so long, and then when it's finally done, it's nice to just kinda, like, have that relief with your family, but, poor Rob, man, that guy misses Thanksgiving every year. I feel like he's always fighting in December, but he gets to enjoy Christmas, so we'll have a little team Thanksgiving after he goes and gets this win.
There you go. You take what you can get. Let's talk about this upcoming fight, shall we? Combat Zone 82, November the 18th. It is right around the corner. Your opponent, really tough guy, man. He's 6-2. He does have two straight losses, though. So, he's coming in with a chip on his shoulder. When I was looking at, some of the guys he's fought in the past, he's got a big win over Muhammad Naimov, who's in the UFC right now. So, this guy's dangerous. Is this the most dangerous fighter you have been in there and competed against?
You know, I think he's the most experienced, I guess you could say, as far as danger goes, I just don't see anything that I haven't seen before. He's game. He's gonna bring it. He's got that win in the Contender Series. He's got that win over the guy you just mentioned, Naimov.
Mhm.
Styles make fights. He's never been finished, and that excites me. I think he just hasn't fought that style that can finish him, and I think I'm that style. I think I can wrestle him and dominate him there. I can stand with them and really confuse him and make some poor decisions. And I'm pretty good at hurting people when I do that. It's just styles. I think about my last fight, and I think that physically may even be a harder fight than this kid I'm fighting. Just the way styles work. But I'm not overlooking anyone, man. I'm treating this guy like he's the best in the world. He's one of the top prospects in the country. And that excites me, man. Like it's easier to get up for these fights. Like this is the level I want to compete at. I think this is a UFC level fight on the regional scene. And that excites me. I think 5 rounds can only benefit me. I know I haven't gone five, he has, but I think my coaches will tell you like my gas tank, my style. I'm kind of built for these 5 round fights. So yeah, I think he's the most game and experienced opponent I've fought. I think I've fought some dangerous guys as well. Nate Karib was a real tough guy. He's killing it right now. He's dangerous. But we'll see. I'm dangerous. This guy's only fought good guys and he's only lost to good guys, and now he's gonna fight another really good guy, and I think it's gonna go my way.
What would it mean to you personally and professionally to win this belt and bring it home?
Yeah, I this whole camp I haven't really been focused on a result. That's kind of just been something I've been working on myself mentally, is like let's just focus on the work, and the work is what I'm doing each day. And then even in the fight, it's round one, November 18th. Just focused on the work, and the result's gonna take care of itself. So I haven't really given it much thought to how it's gonna feel because that's the future, and right now it's just dealing with the work and making sure I'm giving my 100% to that. But it's cool to think about. I won their Army belt. It'd be cool to go full circle like that, and now be their featherweight champ, and maybe give Combat Zone another UFC fighter. But it's one step at a time. And right now, I got another session tonight, so that's the work right now, and focused on that.
Official prediction, Tom. How do you see yourself getting your hand raised here?
Man, we'll find out November 18th. Like I said, I think I'm that style that can put this kid away. I think that puts another, not just a win, but another statement on top of that win if I can. So we'll see, man. We'll see what he brings. We'll see what I bring. We're gonna find out November 18th who's got the right game plan.
Can't wait to see it, man. As always, I appreciate your time. Great talking to you. Best of skill come fight night, November the 18th at Combat Zone 82. Tom, before we do sign off here, I want to give you the floor as always, bud. Whoever you want to thank, whatever you want to plug, floor is yours.
Yeah, as always, man, just thank you to my family, always supporting me, my fiance, her family. I got a really good support system. I keep saying that in every interview I do, but it's true. I'm in a position where I don't have to work. My support system just is confident in me and allows me to just train full time like this. And my team for preparing me, my teammates. It's we go in there alone, but I got a whole army of guys showing up to that gym every day and giving 100%. So I can be ready. My management, Top Game management, team, New England Cartel, everyone, man. I'm grateful, and I think I'm in the best position I can be to win this fight on November 18th. So looking forward to putting on a show.